The mug had barely touched the kitchen counter when the cat jumped onto the chair beside it. The owner smiled, reached down to pet the cat, and the cat simply stayed there, quietly watching while the coffee brewed. It seemed like such an ordinary moment. Until the cat did something a few minutes later that completely changed the way the owner understood their relationship. We'll come back to that. Because scenes like this happen every day, and most of us barely think about them. Have you ever heard someone say, "I'm just not a cat person"? Maybe they grew up believing cats were distant, impossible to understand. Maybe they decided long ago that cats simply weren't interested in people. Then they end up living with one. Weeks later, they're telling stories about the cat. Months later, they're rearranging furniture because the cat has claimed a favorite window. Somewhere along the way, something changed. Most people assume the cat changed them. But the real answer is a little more interesting than that. The biggest change usually isn't in the cat. It's in the way we begin seeing the world. 1. Cats don't change who you are. They change what you start paying attention to. When people first bring a cat home, they often expect obvious affection, constant cuddles, a cat following them everywhere. Instead, the cat may spend hours napping or quietly disappear into another room. It can seem as though nothing is happening. But cats often build relationships through small, consistent interactions. Maybe they choose the chair beside yours, wait outside the bathroom each morning, or quietly join you while you work. Individually, those moments seem ordinary. Together, they reveal growing trust. Researchers describe cats as subtle communicators, often showing comfort through familiar routines rather than dramatic displays. Once you recognize those patterns, you begin seeing your cat differently. It's a bit like letting your eyes adjust in the dark. The room hasn't changed. You simply notice more than you did before. Living with a cat often works the same way. The relationship was growing all along. You just learned how to see it. And that small shift often changes more than you expect. 2. Patience stops being something you practice. It becomes your new default. Living with a cat often teaches patience in unexpected ways. You pat the couch, nothing. You call their name, still nothing. A little later, after you've settled down, there's your cat joining you on their own. Many cats prefer choosing the moment instead of responding to an invitation. That doesn't make them unfriendly. They often feel more comfortable when they have some control over the interaction. Once owners recognize that, their thinking begins to change. Instead of asking, "Why is my cat ignoring me?" they ask, "What would help my cat feel comfortable?" That small shift changes the relationship. People stop trying to force interactions and let the cat decide when to engage. Often, that's when the cat starts seeking them out more, not because the cat changed, but because the interaction feels safe and predictable. Which brings us back to the kitchen. Remember the cat sitting beside the coffee? The owner simply smiled and kept making breakfast. It looked like an ordinary moment, but it quietly set up what happened next. 3. Cats quietly reshape the rhythm of your day. Have you ever noticed your cat somehow knows breakfast is running late? No clock, just an internal schedule that's remarkably accurate whenever food is involved. Cats thrive on routine, and many owners naturally begin matching that rhythm. Meals happen at familiar times. The water bowl gets refreshed each morning. A little play becomes part of the evening. Those habits may seem ordinary, but they create something valuable. Consistency. Both cats and people often feel more comfortable when daily life is predictable. Picture yourself coming home after a busy day. Your mind is still on work. Then you notice your cat quietly waiting nearby. You pause for a moment, offer a scratch under the chin, exchange a slow blink. Without realizing it, you've given yourself a small break before the evening begins. Those quiet pauses can subtly change the rhythm of an entire day. Many owners don't notice it happening until they look back. Which brings us back to the cat beside the coffee. A few minutes after breakfast, something happened that seemed almost too small to matter, but it helps explain why so many people slowly become cat people. 4. Cats quietly teach us to respect boundaries. The owner picked up the coffee and sat down at the desk. The cat finally moved, not onto the keyboard. It simply settled on a nearby chair. That small choice says a lot. Many cats don't measure a relationship by constant physical contact. Sometimes being nearby is enough. That's one reason cats can seem confusing to people expecting obvious affection. A cat may walk away when you reach out, then choose to curl up beside you later. Many cats simply prefer having some choice in how interactions happen. Their body language often tells the story. A raised tail, a head bump, or a slow blink usually signals they're comfortable. Turning away can mean they'd rather have a little space. Once owners begin noticing those signals, they stop asking, "Why won't my cat let me pet them?" and start asking, "What are they trying to tell me?" That simple shift replaces frustration with curiosity. And sometimes the best way to strengthen a relationship isn't by asking for attention. It's by giving the other person, or the cat, the freedom to choose it. 5. They remind us that not every moment has to be filled. Have you ever noticed how easily a cat can become fascinated by something simple? A bird outside the window? A patch of sunlight? Even an empty cardboard box? Cats spend a lot of time simply observing. To us, it may look like nothing is happening. To them, there's always something worth noticing. Living with a cat often has a similar effect on us. You sit down for a minute. The cat curls up beside you. Without planning to, you've slowed down too. Researchers have found that regular positive interactions with pets can help many people feel calmer and more connected to their daily routines. The cat isn't trying to teach a lesson. They're simply being themselves. Yet those quiet moments often become the ones owners remember most. Not the expensive toys. Just peaceful evenings spent together. We're curious. What was the little moment that made you realize your cat trusted you? Was it the first slow blink? The first time they slept beside you? Or something completely different? Leave a comment and let us know. And if these everyday cat behaviors are changing the way you see your feline friend, find the button and follow along. There's plenty more to discover together. 6. The biggest thing cats change is the way we see the world. Let's go back to that morning. The coffee was ready. The owner picked up the mug and walked toward the desk. The cat didn't follow. Instead, it stayed on the nearby chair, just close enough to be part of the morning. That was the moment everything looked different. For a long time, the owner thought affection meant a cat should always want to be on their lap or asking for attention. But this cat wasn't being distant. It had simply chosen to be nearby. After everything we've talked about, that small decision makes a lot more sense. For thousands of years, cats have lived alongside people without giving up the independence that made them successful in the first place. They don't always show companionship the way dogs do. Sometimes it's quieter. Little by little, those ordinary moments replace old assumptions with understanding. Maybe that's why so many people eventually say, "I never thought I'd become a cat person." Perhaps they didn't become someone new. They simply learned to recognize a kind of companionship they hadn't noticed before. Well, I'm gonna go. My cat has been staring at the hallway for the last 5 minutes with complete confidence. And experience has taught me that either absolutely nothing is about to happen, or something is about to fall over. See you on the next one. FurEver.